What is good, everyone? Welcome to the I Am Courtney Michelle show with your girl, Courtney Michelle. What is going on? And welcome. I see you in the chat. What's going on, TJ, Eugene, my love, RM? Thank you guys so much for joining me today. I am going to admit right off top, my energy is on about 1,000 right now. I can't front at all. Um, so I'm gonna go ahead and get into it. I have a lot to say at the end. I'm gonna take a couple calls, but probably what I have to say is gonna take up my time. So bear with me if you can. And again, thank you guys for joining me this evening. Okay, so let me start off by saying this. I got into YouTube by accident. I didn't think that I would be on a panel like Lapeef Network. I definitely didn't think that I would have my own show as I do now, and grateful for you guys for your support. Um, when I got on here, I always thought that I would bring something a little different. Um, my southernness, me being kind of older, me having a child, I always wanted to bring kind of a different perspective. And thus far, I think maybe I have. It's taught me in this space that I've been in. Um, I've learned a lot, and definitely I've learned a lot about myself. And I think now to this day, I'm getting more comfortable in my voice and making my thoughts not only more clear, but solidifying what I think and truly believe in it by doing research and listening to others. I've also learned strength in this space, being strong because the comments, the reaction video, shout out Pink Book Lessons. I've learned to be strong. What I didn't know in this space um, is that I would have to learn that I would have to defend my culture, my blackness, not only to women of other cultures, but to women of my own. I've also learned that in this space, there's a lot of extreme ideas. And where I think I'm different now is that I think I am a little bit more balanced than what I've been hearing. And what I've been hearing over the past day has been disturbing to me, disgusting to me, and I have the balls enough to say it. I'm going to bring up some stuff here. And this, I got my hair braided. It's some fresh braids, so y'all know how that do. So yesterday, Shay Sade, shout out to her. She did a show about the Tina Knowles documentary on Discovery Plus. I didn't have time to watch her show, but I did see that she posted it and I thought it was interesting. And then my friend TJ, TJ Randolph, she called me and said, "Girl, have you watched that documentary?" And I said, "No, I heard about it and I saw that people have been talking about it, but I haven't watched it yet." And she said, "Well, there is a big old backlash off of this docuseries, so you probably need to watch it because I'm a little fired up." And so I said, "Okay, well, let me watch it." Like, why? The title of the docuseries is called Profiled: The Black Man. And for me, I'm like, well, they talking bad about black men? Are they talking bad about black women? No, but just watch it. So I did. I didn't have the channel, so I subscribed to it. $4.99. I will be canceling after this. Shout out, I'm cheap. But I watched it yesterday, and it's a four docu series. And right now, what's posted is um, two two shows right now, uh, dispelling the myth of the black man. And when I got into it, I was like, well, why would anyone have anything to say if we dispelling myth? Because we already know from years on end that there's always been myths of black folks that has perpetuated in media and in the mouths of others, and apparently is in the mouths of ourselves. So I watched it. I was touched. I was inspired. And I told my daughter to sit next to me to watch it as well, because she needs to know that these myths that the world has of black men, she needs to know that they're going to have that about her father. So we watched it, and sitting down and kind of explaining things to her, and I loved it. And then I started watching the backlash, the videos, the multiple videos, the videos of black women saying how it was a lie and how black men are no such thing. They are threats. They are a threat to us, black women, that we need to 86 them. Some of the ridiculous shows that people post, the dark side of baby boomer mammies. Miss Tina Knowles, this ain't it, sis. Tina Knowles, we not going. Mammy ass. Tina Knowles should take a look at what's happening to black women. Even a man, a black man, had something disparaging about a docu-series dispelling myths of black men. I was like, what the hell? How in the world, black women, could you have a problem of a docu-series dispelling myths of black men that, quite frankly, created you? You wouldn't be here if it wasn't for a black man. Them babies you have, and I know a lot of y'all have those talking shit about black men, wouldn't be here if it wasn't for black men. And you have the audacity I didn't know this, which I thought was, again, interesting. There is a petition to cancel this docuseries. As black women who also classically trained journalists, blah, blah, blah. According to the FBI, at least 4 black women and girls are murdered per day in the United States in 20, blah, 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 blah. Talked about Jay-Z, a gangster rapper. So we're wanting to cancel a series that profile black men on who they truly are. I don't know about y'all in the chat, but what I do know is that I've never had a bad experience. I've never been beat on, I'm not going to say the R, great. By a black man. So the idea that a woman wants to showcase, and she said it is her love letter to black men because she was created by a black man. Her daughter, shout out Beyonce, created by a black man. you have a problem with uplifting who you are. So let me talk about this. The first part of the docuseries, it was about dispelling the myth of the threatening Black man. And I thought that was amazing. And I wanted to do something about the Black woman image, but I had to take a pause. I had to take a pause on that because I thought this was more important for me to talk about. But it dispelled the myth that Black men are not someone that's walking down the street that you should be scared of. Not in general. Now, if you have any kind of common sense, any person walking down these streets, you need to give a side eye to. Because what I know is people are people. What I know is that a Black man, white man, Asian man can harm you because people are people. You got good folks, you got bad folks. It's not separate by color. It's not separate by race. It's not separate by gender. It's not separate by nationality. It's not separated by religion. You got good people and you got bad people on every stream and walk of life. But however, to target a particular type of man, a Black man, which we have done for centuries, is just flat out wrong. One thing in that I learned, and I want to bring it back to the image, was the media. The media influence of our Black men. Hell, the media influence of Black women. I'm always on a panel trying to make sure that I conduct myself as much of a lady as I can, because what I do know is that what I do on YouTube lasts forever. What I also know is that I make mistakes, but I'll own up to it and try to produce more goodness and be a representative of Black women to the utmost degree. I champion HBCUs. I champion Black men as much as I champion Black women. But I do know that this is important to me to do it on YouTube because this is a platform that I can control my narrative because this is my show. And unfortunately, I can't control the narrative of WAP. I can't control the Cardi B's, the Meg the Stallions, even though I want to, and I'll petition against that as much as I can to show that Black women just don't twerk. Black women just are not on shows hitting folks and think there's not going to be any repercussions. I try to create an image that I want my daughter to see as a Black girl. But I'm fighting against media, and this is our fight, Black men and Black women. It's not with us, it's the portrayal of how they portray us. So everyone know that it started off Birth of a Nation. It showcased Black folks wrong, but it created the stereotypes that we still unfortunately have to live down today. The stereotype of Black men being lazy and can't control themselves when a white woman is in the room. The idea of Black women, all mammies, and they used it correctly. Right now, these divestors are using it wrong, but we understand that everyone can't be intelligent. So we've been disproving or trying to disprove the image of Blackness. But this is our fight with the media, how they show us, and they've been doing it from the get-go, and it's called propaganda. It's called, in order for us to take down an amazing group of strong creators, strong, beautiful people, we have to make sure that they are looked upon as scary, over-sexualized, unintelligent. And they do this by pumping these images in the heads of us, from people that's never been around a Black person, or people that's only in their area where they might see hood shit, but don't understand that everybody doesn't live there or come for there. Everyone is not a gangster. Everyone is not a thug. Every Black woman is not a whore. These are the images that we have to fight. Now, even today, which I find interesting, in our space, a lot of us, and I'm talking to you, Black men, now it's the color purpling. So now we're blaming Black women for the image of Black men because of color purple. A couple always say the waiting to exhale, it did not portray Black men as they wanted to be traded, who they are. Hardworking family men that want love and want to be loved and want to be needed. These movies that we hear about on a day, and I know you guys know that Oprah is rebooting The Color Purple, but these were the images that they are fighting against. Now, these two movies came from books written by Black women. Now, am I going to say these books should have never been written? No, because it could be their experience. Because guess what, Black folks, Black men, some of us have been hurt by Black men. Some Black men have been hurt by Black women. That doesn't mean that that is the majority or all. Your one experience is anecdotal, but you can't blame a person or a book for everyone. Why are we talking about this? Every single day I hear the color purple and the color purple, as if that's the only Black movie that portrayed Black men in a negative light. But we don't want to talk the Black exploitation films of the 70s. And this is before the color purple. Why nobody talking about Dolomite? The Mac, a pimp. These are also images, my Black men, that are also portraying you not in the best light. And again, I know that this is not all of you guys, but again, y'all got to get off this color purpling because this ain't the only movie. By far, it's not the only. Why aren't we talking about John Singleton? Not a soul in this space. It's always the Alice Walker, the color purple. We're not talking about Boys in the Hood. We don't want to talk about Menace to Society. We don't want to talk about Baby Boy, still negative Black images. Our image has been messed up, but y'all have to quit blaming the Black woman for it because it's not us. It's who's running these things, who's funding, the executive producer. It is a plight to make us look silly and broke. So it's not just the color purple, it's a lot of the media that has portrayed us in this light. We have got to get out of this color purple, and it's not. It's so many movies, so many music. I'm ranting today. I told you I was on one. If I hear someone else say TLC Scrubs was another song that Black women singing degrading Black men, Scrubs is a song because the women didn't want no scrubs. Wasn't about Black men. Black women was singing it, but shit, we go through things too. We have a right to voice our opinions, our hurts, our feelings when we've been done wrong, just like Black men too. But it's not the majority, and it's not all. That song is about I don't want no scrubs. It's not I don't want no Black man scrub. A Black man scrub can't get no love from me. It wasn't. They ain't say that. Where is the balance? Where are we going to balance it out? I haven't seen it. And that's what I'm searching for. And I guess that's why I started this, because we have to have a balance. It's good and it's bad. But damn, all we seem to focus on is the negativity. Every show is about Black women doing this and that, but not a one is showing something that Black women are doing good. And we are. Girl at my school, shout out TSU, a Black woman, founded a new chart on the periodic table. My cousin had an article about her, calling her the new hidden figure because she builds spaceships. A Black woman. You would never hear about her for what? Why? Because they don't exist? No, we do. You just not gonna hear it. So going back to the docuseries, I did not know this. And I'm thankful for Tina Knowles for bringing this to my attention because I had no idea. You guys know who these people are. It's President Richard Nixon. This guy next to Richard Nixon is a guy. His name is, Lord, let me not mess up this man's name. It was John Ehrlichman. So I think we all understand, or hopefully we know what the COINTELPRO was. I think we know and we understand the crack epidemic and how these are other things that helped dissipate the Black family. It wasn't just Black. Shout out to Ramil Reloaded. I want to throw him out there because he had an amazing live today that I watched about the Monahan report and the things that it did not say, but we keep going and repeating things that's not even in the Monahan report. But this particular president and COINTELPRO and the crack epidemic, if we don't already know that this was systematically made and created to devise and divide the Black family. I'm going to read this if you guys can't. In 1994, in a 1994 interview, Mr. Lord bless me, Ehrlichman said, "You want to know what this is really all about?" He went on, "The Nixon campaign in 1968 and the Nixon White House after that had two enemies, the anti-war left and Black people. You understand what I'm saying? We knew we couldn't make it illegal to be either against the war or Black, but getting the public to associate the hippies with marijuana and Blacks with heroin, and then criminalizing both heavily, we could disrupt these communities." Y'all, this is the president telling us, his assistant telling us, and why he was hired. We could arrest their leaders, raid their homes, break up their meetings, and vilify them night after night on the evening news. So you wonder why you won't see a whole lot of white folks that do and commit the same crimes as Black folks, but you always see a Black man face, because it was done strategically to villainize us, to make us look like criminals. Did we know we were lying about the drugs? Of course we did. President Nixon's creation of war on drugs to criminalize Black people amplified the presumption of guilt assigned to Black people since slavery and entrenched the racialization of criminality that began to earnest with lynchings. The Nixon administration strategically they used drugs to villainize African Americans night after night on evening news, fostered public's fear and anger that reached frenzied heights in the 1990s. I remember the 90s. I am that age. I remember growing up and seeing this and the Just Say No's. And I remember the DARE programs. And if I was amazed when I read this. And if you don't know, I mean, this was just a clip of what he said. And I saw him say this on YouTube, where it was systematically done to villainize and criminalize Black people, and specifically Black men. So you have them on the news getting arrested on drugs. What do you think the nation is going to think of Black men? Nothing positive. I'm in slow roast tonight. So then again, in the media, we know now that the president, the White House, had it out for us. So what do you think the TV and the shows are going to show? The breaking up of the Black family. I'm sure some of y'all, the old school, remember this movie, Claudine, showing a Black woman with her kids without a father. Do you think this image was just done for fun? No, nothing that these people are putting multi-millions on TV to produce is done just because. I thought it was so important. And, Bill Cosby, Lord, I'm not going to talk about him right now. But the importance of seeing Black families with fathers and moms. This is the image that we have to create. And I know this is what we need to become, a nuclear family. But shit, once we're trying to get that together, we need to show images of positivity in our communities because right now there's none. People didn't believe when they first came out. I remember my mom telling me, I never believed that this was a real Black family because, my family wasn't looking like that. And on TV, you never saw it. This was something that was amazing. But guess what? Black people live like this. There are Black doctors. There's Black lawyers that have kids that stay together. It might be a small, it didn't dwindle down since the 1960s, yes, but it doesn't mean it's gone. They're there, and it doesn't mean that we can't get those rates back up. Just because we're down doesn't mean we can't get up. My Wife and Kids is one of my favorite shows, and I watch that to this day because not only is that a beautiful family, they make me laugh. And I think I said this before on one show. If I had to create my little family, it'd be like this because I like to laugh. I like to be goofy, but they're beautiful and they are together and they love each other per on the show. What are our kids looking at now? What alternatives are we getting our Black kids? Someone made fun of me because I said the reason why I went to a HBCU is because of a different world. Well, kiss my ass. It was. I didn't know HBCUs existed until I saw a different world. I lit up watching these characters. And since high school, I was like, I'm going to a HBCU, and I made it I didn't want to go anywhere else. And I thank God for that experience. And I thank God that it opened me up to see that Black people are not what's portrayed on TV, that we are so much more. So that was just one part of the docuseries that I learned so much, and the idea of getting our image back together. It's a now thing. It's not a well, maybe, shoulda, coulda, woulda. It's a now. Then the second part of the docuseries was dispelling the myth of the absentee father. It was saying that no, Black men are fathers and that they do want to be in their child life. And not only want to be in their child's life, but want to be active. Remember that clip showed, I'll bring it back up, of one of the naysayers of this docuseries. I don't really know this man that's right next to Tina Knowles, but he had Beyonce's mom, Tina Knowles, produces disgusting documentary full of lies about Black men. This is a Black man saying this. How in the hell is a Black, unless maybe he's one of the disgusting creatures of Black men that are perpetuating that representative of the narrative. Maybe he's one. Maybe so. But even him had to say something negative about Black men. And I was amazed because I was like, now, surely Surely, I can understand some of these bitter broads. But a black man talking to, but and then I was on a show last week, shout out Lapeef Network, and there was a caller. I'm gonna play it. It was a caller. Had the audacity to say black men don't love their kids. When I tell you, I what? What? Black men don't love their kids. What? Who? I ain't never heard a black man say that out of their mouth. So again, these negative stereotypes that we perpetuate in the media does not only affect other cultures and what they think about us, it affects how we think about ourselves. I'm gonna play it.
No, I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that at all. I love my I have 2 children. I love my daughters. No matter what, if I'm with my wife or not, I'm going to always love my daughters. That's why I know.
So why are you saying that dudes is not loving their kids just because they not with the
just because I love my children does not mean the vast majority does. You got to understand the majority of people are selfish. The majority of people only care about their own interests.
So you said the majority of wait. I just want to keep it very clear. You said the majority of men don't love their kids.
Yes, I'm saying the majority of men don't love them. They don't love anybody.
They are insane, bro.
Oh, okay. All right. Then you got to define love. But I mean, we ain't gonna go into that. I mean, because the Bible defines love. These men don't love their children. They love themselves, and it really can't really say that's up. But most of the thing I'm saying is people are in love with themselves. They love what they can get out of any situation. The children can't give the man anything out of the situation. The woman can.
Now y'all know, y'all see my neck rolling. That was my sister girl. And I'll play my response because I couldn't believe it. And I'll go to, I think, where I was. Let's see. If it plays. Well, we'll give that a minute to air to pull up. Storm, I'm in the country. I never heard any black man say that in my life. Bitter baby mama, yeah, he don't love his child. They left the child. I heard that. Never in my life have I ever heard a black man talk negatively about black men like that. And so for me, it's showing me that it's stronger. No, it's showing me that it's worked. It worked. Shout out President Richard Nixon. It worked. Not only did white supremacy do its little amazing thing, that we're also perpetuating white supremacy with this idea as if black fathers don't love their kids. So, there's always stats to pull it up, and I love the PowerPoint. So let me bring this up. Let's dispel some rumors and myths. The black children statistics. Dear black folks in this YouTube space, black children are 42% in a 2-parent home. 80% of kids do not live with a mama. That is a lie. 42% of 2 parents. That means mama and daddy. 46% mother only. Yeah, that's a high percent, but it's damn sure not 80%. Dads are there. And then you have a 5% and a 7%. I think this breaks it down a little bit more if you're able to see it. 7% of kids live with their dad only. They're forgotten. The single dads, we don't talk about them, do we? No. We don't. But they're there. 5% said that they live with a grandparent. Not the best situation, of course, But the idea that 80% live with mama is not true. In order for us to dispel these myths, we have to do and say the correct numbers. And we have to show it instead of just saying, and oh, I heard. Counting by the number of children rather than the number of fathers presents a different picture. The Census Bureau reports that slightly more than half, which we already talked, of Black children live in homes headed by one parent, which is usually but not always the mother. This explains in part of the co-residential fathers having more children. It's also true that Black children are more likely than others to be born out of wedlock, which is obviously true. So definitely something that we need to work on. Me, as I'm talking to myself. Meanwhile, among fathers who live with their children, Black dads are in many ways the most involved in their kids' lives. Let me repeat that. Black dads are in many ways the most involved in their kids' lives. Black fathers, 70%, 70% are most likely to have bathed, dressed, diapered, or helped their children use the toilet every day, compared with whites, which is at 60%, and Hispanic fathers, which is at 45%. The CDC study found also more Black fathers than white fathers took their children to or from activities every day and helped their kids with homework every day. But Black men don't love their kids. When 70% are bathing, clothing, diapering, feeding their kids, that means they're there. You can't diaper a child being a drive-by daddy. You can't feed your kids being a drive-by dad. They're there. Why is it so hard to believe that not every Black man and not every Black woman is bad and trashy? How is it hard to believe that is some good folks out here? That is us. And why do I have to convince Black people of this? Why do I have to convince Black women that every man ain't a pookie? And I hate that word. I don't even want to say that. Why do I have to convince Black men that every Black woman is not a strag? I don't know. I put this up here because I think we need to know this as well too, because again, we're in this idea that all Black women having all these kids and all these baby mamas, and she got 4, 5, 6, 7 kids. Yeah, there's some. Fertility rates for Black women have declined slightly over the past 10 years, from 70.8 births per 1,000 women in 2008 to 62.0 per 1,000 in 2018. Let me scroll down because I want y'all to hear this. At the end of their childbearing years, ages 15 to 50, Black women have had an average of 2.1 children. It ain't 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Like you out here thinking that Black women is Count Dracula with these numbers. 1 baby, 3 baby, 6 baby, We not crap. The average. And you know who's that average is? Amongst the other races of people in America, Black women, the average 2.1. Is it out of wedlock? Yeah. But it ain't multiple kids that we having. But these are the one that we're showcasing. And again, it's us doing it. It's Black people showcasing lies of us to perpetuate what that good old President Nixon wanted to do, that is working. He's gone, long gone. And like Jesse Jackson, we keeping the hope alive with this nonsense. Dear divestors, Let me be very clear with your numbers of the 1.4 in 2020. They taking us out. You know what your biggest threat is? Do you want to know what's really taking you out? It's not the black man. It's those burgers and fries that you keep munching on late night because you ain't got nobody. And you sad and salty. And that's why you hate the black men, because they don't obviously like you, because you probably have a stank attitude. So now you eating it away. The number one killer of black women is heart disease. It's us killing us. It's us not exercising. Frying chicken every day. Girl, I'm hungry. I need a snack, girl. What you gonna snack on, baby? I got some grapes. No, baby, I had this bowl of chili with a cornbread. Oh, you gonna snack on chili and cornbread, my girl? Yeah, girl, you know, I'm just a little hungry. This is my little snack before dinner. Baby, that ain't no snack. That's a meal. No, because for my meal now, I got a fried steak. Oh, you fried your steak? You don't want to put that on the grill? No, baby. I put that little flour on there. I'm grilling that. Your number one killer is heart disease. Number two is cancer. Number three is stroke. And you know what you probably get a lot of stroke, get your stroke off of? Stress. I wonder why black women are so stressed. Maybe because we being man and woman in relationships and to our children, but not understanding that eliminating all that stress that you go through or have putting yourself through could save your life. Number four is diabetes. You over there won't get your little insulin shot, but still over there eating cupcakes and snickerdoodles. Your number one thing that's taking you out is yourself. Quit blaming everybody for your failures. Quit blaming the men that messed you up on every black man. Maybe it's you. Let me see if my internet's working. I told y'all my energy is a little, so I put on, well, first, I'm representing my school, but I said, let me put on a black hoodie because it might be a little smoke in the air. That's fine. So let's talk about this. When I saw this, I was amazed. First, look at the face. Now, you already know when your face is looking like that, it's something going on. Ain't nothing in the world that your face need to be all marked up at. Look, girl. But let's talk about it. I'm going to play a little bit of the beginning because she had a good old time on this live. I wish.
Right? I'm about to start cursing some people
Oh,
out.
and this is a little extra, but
you can mute it now and then come back. I'll tell you when. I'll put my hand up right now to let you know you can mute it, and I'll put my hand back up to let you know.
Oh, can y'all hear it?
I just saw some pussy ass nigga write some comment on my video about how I'm black male bashing. Punk, the fuck is wrong with you? This is why society thinks of you as so fucking weak. Because the moment that anybody says anything that is less, any moment less than gargling on your nutsack through and through to perpetuity to the end of time, then all of a sudden you're talking about how people hate you. You've got to love yourself and stop this bullshit. Stop it. You can do a lot better. And people telling you that you can do better is not male bashing. Especially if you feel that you're the type of man that those words refer to. Do better. You cannot say that you are perpetually a victim. everybody else in society is rising up except for you. You would do better to listen to women and what women want, because women will get you on target on what is going to make the community better. The fuck what you doing right here in the comments, sitting down on your flat black ass with crust up in between the middle, on your ear mattress, knobby knees and ash everywhere? What you're doing is you are attempting to keep yourself in the past, perpetually a victim, never rising out of your victimhood. Get up, stand up, get up off of your knees. Be a man. Listen to what the women are telling you that they need. They need your protection. They need your provision. Get the fuck up. Work. Build some businesses. I'm reading this book right now about racial hierarchy, and in the book it describes the plummet that we took in this country when we integrated. Because the moment that black men had access to white women legally, they went a-running. The white man's ice is colder. They went a-running. The white man's woman is better. And you don't see how worshiping what comes out of the white man's sack is what's keeping you enslaved. Right now, you're enslaving yourself. What are you doing? Still until this day that we have black men coming up on the internet talking these stupid ass points and dumb tropes, talking about how these men, these women who are mixed with white male genes, that they look so much better than the women who are mixed with yours. That they're raised so much better in a system which allows for them to take some rest in their femininity. Albeit in these other communities, it's not perfect. But goddamn, they can walk down the street at night. That's why when they see your black ass in the neighborhood, they become frightened. Because of what it is that you have done. What she's not talking about in her documentary is how true so many of these stereotypes are. You all can come back into the video now. We'll listen to some more. Somebody said,
first of all, lady, relax. Second of all, lady, stereotypes are there for a reason, but it doesn't mean that it's the whole. I could probably talk about a whole lot of stereotypes that they have a black woman that you are portraying, but you would hate that now, wouldn't you? You would hate for me to talk about, I'm not even going to go there. Because I'm not even going to do that tonight. I want to hear a little bit more about what she has to say, you guys. I'm going to pull it up. The jokester in me wants to, but I'm on not.
As my intentions are good. It's all about self-love. When you start loving yourself, you start doing things in a different way. And black men and the delusion of all the smoke that you like blown up your ass is not getting you where you say that you want to be. What is your income compared to men of other races? Even Hispanic men out-earn black men. Asian men at the top, white men underneath, Hispanic men, then black men. Come on. Stand up. All right. Let's continue going forward into so why people think that Jay-Z is a gangster, because that is the image that he used. He was the face.
I find it funny. Let me turn her off because it was something interesting here, because she goes off. It's majority about Jay-Z, which Mama Knowles said one thing about Jay-Z. She said that she was getting on the elevator and this white woman came up to her and said, "Oh, I can't believe you let your daughter marry a gangster." And she was like, "Oh, you mean a CEO?" Now, all those different videos of those women and that one man that I saw that was talking reckless about this docuseries again, that was uplifting black men, which is again uplifting black women. That little one part, and they did hours talking about it. Well, he made big pimping, and is he doing it now? There's a whole lot of stuff that I was doing then, and am I doing it now? I've always said, and I've always spoke of redemption, meaning that you can come from the gutter, you can come from the slums, you could come from a life of being on the streets or whatever. That doesn't mean you stay there. That man has not stayed there. That man has turned himself into a $1 billion business, a CEO, not a businessman, he's a business man. Why not talk about that? You want to talk about some old songs from the 90s? Big Pimpin' when R.I.P. Pimp C was still living. He been gone forever. But you still want to talk about that? But you refuse to talk about what's going on now. You refuse to talk about his accolades now. Why? Because you can't. In order for you to have this negative stereotype of black men, and again, this is how we do it for black women too. We always got to go back to the color purple that was made in the 80s. Oh, let's talk about the Jay-Z verse that he did back in 93. So, no, I'm almost an hour. So, there was a caller. And a caller asked her an interesting question. Oh, hold on. I had something. I had a time step on something. Let me see what she said. I had a time step. I don't even know why. So let me see why I put this on here. Oh, I think I remember. Oh, so they talk about Jay-Z, right? Back what he did in the 90s. Then I thought it was interesting that little lady here was talking about, negative relationships of black men treating their black women so horribly. And I'm like, well, who's she gonna use now? Who is she using in the media now? Let's see who she talk about. I can't. I just, come on, fake cry.
The days after, years after, when the enslavement period happened in the United States.
I'm hoping y'all can hear.
And the ways that black men in those early days.
I didn't have it all the way up.
The sale of intercourse with black women, they themselves had just escaped the enslavement period with centuries of defiling, centuries of subjugation, objectification, denial of human and reproductive rights. And then, when we finally got out, listen, this is how these pimps that we knew to revel in. The Iceberg Slim, Alfred Bobos Golson, he had a mentor who was a hardcore, vicious, violent pimp who came out of the early 1900s. And Alfred Bobos Golson learned his trade from this man. And so when we talk about what black women have gone through and continue to go through, let me ask you all this question. This pimp culture that has risen out of our community, when do you think that began? The sale of black women's bodies. The sale of black girls' bodies. When do you think that began? We tell all these romantic stories. I read about Frederick Douglass
First of all, she needs an Academy Award. Let me pause it. But this lady is talking about Frederick Douglass. So we're taking about to the 1800s. Ma'am, you know what? I'll give my commentary after this because I just can't. I can't. Come on, Angela Bassett.
How his black wife gained her freedom and worked and paid to send for him. She brought him to the north. His black wife, his first wife. She had all these children for him. And you know what he did to repay her? You know what he did to repay her? Cheated on her relentlessly. Started going to those high-town parties looking for a white woman. Left her. He abandoned her and his children. He abandoned her. And then found a white wife and replaced her. Frederick Douglass. I believe the stress that she was under caused her to die early. And the moment that she died, goddamn, where the white women at? But meanwhile, his philandering and his cheating was so pervasive that we know about it today in the history book. Frederick Douglass, the man that we tout all of the amazing things that he did for abolition, but him behind the scenes was a derelict, was a philanderer who didn't honor his wife. If you think I am lying, look it up. Look it up. When I read about Harriet Tubman and what the black man she was in love with did to her, I cried. It has been relentless and nonstop. But yet we continue to pander and blow smoke up everyone's asses. We continue.
I'm gonna pause it right there. And the reason why I'm gonna do that is because I did look it up. What she said about Frederick Douglass and all the women and all that, that's not verifiable. I went to the Smithsonian Inn. Hold on, let's close this out. And this is what they had to say. Frederick's close affiliation with both of these women only added fuel to the fire of rumors that followed the family. He was accused of having affairs with both, in part to discredit his work as an abolitionist, and in part because of stereotypes of the day about infidelity of African American men. Let me say that one more time. Okay. Frederick's close affiliation with both these women only added fuel to the fire of rumor mongering that followed the family. He was accused of having affairs with both, in part to discredit his work as an abolitionist, and in part because stereotypes of the day about infidelity of African American men. Look here, lady. That's not a fact. And for you to be on a platform where you have almost 200,000 followers to say and to cry as if you're going for an Academy Award about a situation you have no idea that happened into the 1800s about something that was rumors, in part to discredit who he was as a black man. Rest in peace, Emmett Till, who was lied upon as well. And he lost his life because of a lie. See, what we're not going to do in this house of mine is keep perpetuating these lies. Lady, that's not a fact. It's a rumor. And you saying that on a platform of thousands to discredit what Frederick Douglass did for our culture? I honestly don't care that his second wife was white. He was biracial. So what? What did he do? She had something to say about old Harriet Tubman. Now you want to talk about Harriet Tubman? Can you talk about something that you've been through, or have you? But we want to talk about people in the 1800s. Okay, let's okay, the insanity.
We continue. And so now Tina Knowles has this documentary that has come out. I want you all to watch this.
I want to hear what she said about Harriet Tubman.
Of everyone's asses.
Did I miss that?
Of everyone's asses. We continue.
Girl.
We continue.
No, I can't. The cries
was so pervasive to repay her. To repay her.
Hold on. Come on, Harriet
we tell
Tubman.
All these romantic stories.
I'm going to play this back because I want to hear what she said about Harriet Tubman.
I read about Frederick Douglass.
No, we'll go. Okay.
How his black wife gained her freedom and worked and worked and worked and paid to send for him. She brought him to the north. His black wife, his first wife. She had all these children for him. And you know what he did to repay her? You know what he did to repay her? Cheated on her relentlessly. Started going to those Hightown parties looking for a white woman. Left her. He abandoned her and his children. He abandoned her. And then found a white wife and replaced her. Frederick Douglass. I believe the stress that she was under caused her to die early. And the moment that she died, goddamn.
Look how just made that up.
Women act.
Just made that up.
But meanwhile, his philandering and his cheating was so pervasive that we know about it today in the history books.
We don't. We don't, lady. You made that up.
That we tout all of the amazing things that he did for abolition, but him behind the scenes was a derelict, was a philanderer who didn't honor his wife. If you think I'm lying, if you think I am lying, look it up. Look it up. When I
had to. Hold up. Well, I think you're lying. I think you're lying. So I looked it up. And it didn't say that shit. Sorry, I had a moment. All right, Harriet Tubman.
Read about Harriet Tubman. When I read about Harriet Tubman and what the black man she was in love with did to her, I cried. It has been relentless and nonstop, but yet we continue to pander and blow smoke up everyone's ass. We continue. We continue. And so now Tina Knowles has this documentary that has come.
Okay, I guess she's not gonna. Maybe I thought she said something, but let me tell y'all. I looked it up. Bradford believes that John Tubman, that was Harriet Tubman's first husband, a decision to marry her appears the choice of a man deeply in love with, or at least powerfully drawn to Harriet. It was a love story. He was a freed man Harriet Tubman was not. That's why she left to get her freedom papers, and he decided to stay back. He did not want her to go, and she left for years. Now, let's think. This is the 1800s. Why is she bringing up these stories from the 1800s? I don't know. There wasn't no phones, no texts, no FaceTime a sister when you get there. It wasn't. She was gone for years. So he did remarry. I would have too. Who knows what would have happened? She was a slave. And he wanted her to stay home, and she did not. She didn't obey her husband. John Tubman probably wasn't the devil that Bradford made him out to be. In fact, Bradford may have described him as such in order to sell more books. Harriet Tubman was, after all, one of the first women to make money from her own biography. What? You mean a book that was being extra, the author to sell it, to propagate more negativity about our Black man to sell? Could the media actually do that? Oh, geez Louise, yes. And then you have nutcases on the internet spilling these lies of a biography that was done. She should have did more research. And she should have left that out because it had nothing to do with the plight of what Harriet Tubman did for us, what Frederick Douglass did for us. And while we're here right now having a lot of the freedoms that we have is because of them. A failed marriage on both of them does not make them who they are. As a matter of fact, they remarried. Harriet Tubman remarried her husband and that was married for like 19 years. She moved on to another Black man. Probably because she wasn't bitter and moved on with her life, which we should do as people because that's life. Shit happens. How in the world could Harriet Tubman moved on, married a man, and you over here from 1800s crying about something that Harriet Tubman didn't give a damn about? She had a new boo. Why are you crying about it? Y'all gotta help me, because I'm not understanding. It doesn't make sense. Why are we some of these Black women and that Black man are upset about showing Black men in a positive light? Ma'am, don't you know they reflect us? Showing Black men in a positive light is reflective of us because we are Black people. We are a community. Our kids reflect us. Black men, your woman reflects you. And I don't get passport bros going around the country, but regardless, you can't escape your Blackness. You can do your Count Dracula, 1 mixed baby, 5 mixed baby, you still a Black man, So we represent you. So I'm gonna go back to that lady. A lady called in, and I think this was probably the most important part of this video to me, and it wasn't her just talking bad about the docu-series. It was a woman that called in, and she's been on the fence about how she feels about Black men. She was on the fence about, well, what's wrong with resting in your femininity as a Black woman? Don't we want to do that? Let's hear her answer. I'll show
why
you.
men are above and the leaders of, and we took a rib and all this other stuff. Come on. 323-488-3149. And she's gonna come onto my line to promote some toxic text like the Bible and anti-woman text like the Bible. Come on.
Stop talking about my Jesus now.
Where are you calling from?
Hey, Tanya. My name is Barbie from the Bronx.
Okay, Barbie from the Bronx. What is your comment here today about the conversation we're having?
I have a quick question. Okay, so how do we go about becoming a protected class, right? I think that the strong Black women image has really not gotten us anywhere, right? And even to a point where it's like people expect that we can handle shit like this. And so I'm wondering how do we get into that energy where we're like damsels in distress almost? Like not self-flagging, but really truly expressing that we're hurt, expressing that we're not superwoman, and that we're vulnerable, and have that be something that garners the sympathy of others, or at least the attention of others, to get us into a place where we're protected, even though.
Okay, I'm gonna pause it. The lady asked, do we? She wants to feel protected, but she realized that we're not as strong as we claim to be. This independent, strong Black woman, we're not. We hurt. We're emotional. We cry. We need help. We want to be vulnerable, but she doesn't understand. Do I have to pretend to be the damsel in distress in order to get that? But then I got to be strong. I don't know, because I'm hearing so much on what I innately am supposed to be as a woman. But what I'm hearing other Black women say is not to be that. What do I do? And it's so sad, but a lot of us don't know.
Our men don't protect us, right? We still need protection somehow, somewhere.
Barbie, I think it's very dangerous for Black women to attempt to let their guards down, because we can't let our guards down because we are not protected. So I don't know if you're saying that we need to, be damsels because we really can't afford to be damsels, or if we should just try to be seen as damsels.
Yeah, the latter. So not.
Okay.
That's
fine. That's fine.
Yeah.
So let me answer that. Black is seen as tougher. Black is seen as harder. We are the original womb men. We are the original. All comes through us. And we are actually, the society is shifting. We are in the age of Aquarius.
Did you hear her say we are the original womb man? Look here. Okay, let me I want to be very clear. Womb man, I'm a woman. Ain't no womb man, emphasis on the man, none over here, baby. None. I'm all woman and proud to be it, and understand what I'm supposed to be and what God created me to be. Ain't no womb man. I have a womb for my man to create. That's what it's for. The womb man. All woman.
With the rise of womb holders. And there's going to be a lot of changes on the earth. I don't know if attempting to posit as if we are weak and need the protection of men, I don't know if that is going to be the thing that is going to get us to the next, because we're still putting ourselves in positions where we are attempting to be dependent on the protection of men. And look.
What's wrong with that, though? What do you see that's wrong with that? You're saying
I don't know. No. I don't see anything wrong with women not being almighty and strong. I'm going to show a comment to you all. Let me just pull up my YouTube. I'm going to show you all a comment that I had to respond to the other day. And I'm going to let you know what is going on. Give me 1 second. I just have to pull up my comments. So if you want to talk, you can go ahead and talk while I pull up my comments.
Okay. No, I'm just asking what's wrong with that to really try to understand different perspectives, because I mean, in other cultures, I don't see women really feeling like they have to hold this mantle. I know we do because we're in this particular environment, right, with our men, where we have to be that strong black woman role. But
so it's interesting. She said that she doesn't see other women having to be the strong, I don't need no man. But we have to because of what? Because of the image that they are portraying black men to be. Because the men I know want you to be this and would gladly take care of you if you are that. But it ain't no playing with it, baby. You gonna be it or not? See, my God called it being lukewarm. It ain't no lukewarm. It ain't no straddling the fence. Either you're going to be a woman and be vulnerable for your man, or you not.
I hear women champion the term rest in your femininity all the time, but how do we do that? And maybe it is time to show the world the other side of being a black woman, which is a sensitive side, and one that is, we're not always able. I mean, we run ourselves down, right, trying to be superwoman.
Yeah, we do.
Mom, super mammy for some women. And it's just like, we run ourselves down, we put ourselves last. And I'm just afraid that, like, what does that mean? If I have a daughter, I'm going to raise her to be independent the way that I was, right? But then it's also like,
and then yet again, if she has a daughter, she's going to raise her like she is. But yet she's not even happy the way she is. She sound old as hell getting advice from this lady about how to be a woman. And so you're going to raise your daughter. And again, the cycle continues because we think that we have to raise our women, our little girls, to not need a man, not want a man. You got this on your own. But in the same breath, say that she tired. Oh, I'm tired of being the strong black woman, but I'm gonna raise my daughter to be. Like at this point, I'm gonna say the crack epidemic is still going on at this point because it's ridiculous.
Should she not enjoy the luxury of being cared for?
Yeah, she should.
Feeling safe in her environment, and men are usually the ones who do that.
All right.
Yes, they are.
Thank you so much for your comment. I'm going to show this comment on my screen, right, and I want you all to tell me what you pick up on here. So a person commented and said, "Why is this woman talking? The only reason she can speak is men. Women, the only thing protecting you from men is other men." And
facts.
Says HTH. I don't know what that means. And I respond back, "Boy!" exclamation point. The only thing protecting you from white men is white men. You are a boy in this land at the white man's mercy. And you're projecting your desire to oppress onto women. And I say, but gun rights is the great equalizer. Comments like yours are why I don't march for you all. What is it that you're picking up on? What is the trend that we...
Side note, I think it's so corny to have an applause after what you say, and it's not really you hitting a button. Like, that is so corny to me. That's like me saying, yeah, my name is Courtney Michelle. Like, that's so lame. This whole stream is lame. Just lame.
Coming from men nowadays, especially black men. There was a man who called in on my line. I need to remember, if there's anybody who remembers what show he called in on. He called in because I want to highlight this. He called in to tell me that if we were stuck in a room together, that he could force me to do whatever it is that he wants me to do. This is what he said to me on my phone. And I had to cuss him out and hang up on him. The issue with depending on the kindness of men is that we have not seen that act out in real life. When men are given power and control, what is it that they do with it? Look at the state of the earth that we are on right now and how the earth is being raped and pillaged. Mother Earth is being destroyed at the hands of men. So, do we have the luxury? We need to get the fuck up right now and save this planet. Do we have the luxury of really resting in the feminine when the feminine is being raped and pillaged?
No. No, we don't.
So I don't know what the answer is, but I know that it is time for the women to rise up and grab the mantle. And grabbing the mantle, power is never relinquished easily. They have no incentive to relinquish power. So rather than us really thinking about how to become more feminine and more, submissive and docile, our docility has the earth. We don't even know if we'll have a planet in 150 years. Let's play the tambourine and let's come together and let's ignore the negativity and let's just be in our positive vibration. That has caused us to be on a globe that we are allowing men to poison our waters while rich white men try to find another planet to flee to. While we
I'm gonna see what her next question is before I take her off.
Planet of the apes, while they go try to find another planet, while our waters are poisoned. And I was in this town called Livingston, Guatemala. It's a black town. And you can walk to where the Atlantic and it's a sea and an ocean come together. So salt water and fresh water come together at this park, right? And on this beach, it was littered with bottles, plastic that are all coming down from the Atlantic, from the United States, coming down to their shores.
I hope she makes her point quick.
What we're doing is not sustainable. And we're sitting here quiet about it, talking about, well, other women are able to rest in their femininity, et cetera, while those motherfucking women resting in their goddamn femininity are allowing their rabbit-ass men to go out there and destroy this earth. Those motherfucking women need to stand up. White women need to stand the fuck up. They let Trump get into office. They are allowing the destruction of this earth, and white women need to wake up. We're tired as black women of having to save this nation. We're only 6% of the population. White women need to stand the fuck up. White women, you need to stand up.
You know why she said that? The white women need to stand up. Let me tell you why. White women created feminism. White women told us that we fighting for our rights, you need to fight for yours. And we did. Over here trying to integrate into a culture that don't want us, period. And so us trying to act white like the white woman, but not understanding that the white woman is still going on to her husband. So therefore they can still rest in their femininity because they sold us a lie. And now look at us. Shout out JB, Broken Dusty. Look at us. And the white woman still flourishing with her white man. Not going through what we're going through as a black community because they don't have to, because the white women told you that they taking off their bras and fighting for women rights and then sneaking back, loving on their white man and being feminine and friendly to them. And now we out here looking a damn plumb fool. And now you want to do a little reverse psychology. White woman, stand the F up. No, ho, for what? They're happy with their man. They're happy that they don't have to have the burdens of a woman and a man on their shoulders. They're happy that they're not over here dying like us of heart disease and strokes because we're too overly stressed by doing two gender roles. The white women ain't standing up. They're laughing at us. We're a joke to them. And they fooled you, TK. Oh, Tanya, wherever you want to go for, whatever your name is. They fooled you. They fooled me. They fooled us. They not doing anything but laughing at our silly asses, bicker amongst each other, make fun of each other, looking at Black women degrade their Black men on the YouTube streets for what, a like, a sub? They're laughing at us. They're laughing at our Black men joking and carrying on about Black women. Look at them niggas. Glad we ain't them. It's pathetic. It's pathetic of what we have become. And it's not even, we can't even blame these movies because we're doing it right now to ourselves. Go look at any content creator that's Black talking about Black relationships. Where are the folks that are married that's champion marriage? If for me, that's the resolve to a lot of our problems. Where are they at? The Black men that want Black women, that don't call us all strags, they're called simps. The Black women that want the Black men and not calling them Dusties or Pookie and Ray Rays, we're called mammies. We're made fun of loving ourselves. We're made fun of loving our culture. How we get here? How did we get here? How did we get to a place where me saying I love Black men and I want the best for them, and that I love Black women and I want the best for us, and I just truly believe the best for us is us? How is that negatable? I'm B1, and that's Black first. The best thing for a Black man is a Black woman. The best thing for a Black woman is a Black man. We are each other's perfect complement. And we are so far gone. And for me, it doesn't look like we want to even come back together. Or at least some of us don't. I know I do. I'm over here trying, y'all. Because please, when I get married, baby, all day. Yes, let me talk about this video. I want to do a reaction video on it. I want to. Were y'all talking about me in the chat? No, that's the wrong hand. Let me do this one. Yeah. Someone, you super chatted me. Thank you. Oh, extra. So I want to play one more thing. I'm going to put the link in the chat. Let me hush her up. There was a show that, again, was talking about this documentary. It was disgusting and pathetic and sad. And I really wish I would have called in. But there was a woman that called in that was telling her story. She was very cool, calm, and collected. And I'm trying to be that way. And I get a little extra sometimes. So I'm trying to be better with my my points, meaning that, Courtney, be calm, cool, and collected, even though you think they're dumb as hell. Do not get on their level. I mean, I can play the song here, get on my level, but I can't do that on these YouTube streets. So I am trying to get better. So y'all pray for your girl. But I want to play this because I thought it was interesting. And this is the state divestors, or where we are, some of us. Let's see. Let me share.
was in a similar situation. It's just that I don't 86 the black culture.
Well, that's on you, Regina.
I know that's what they said to call, and I called to state my opinion.
I appreciate it.
I was just saying that domestic violence is wrong across the board.
Yeah,
like
cats. Hey, let's not overtalk each other. Cats whoop each other's asses too. I mean, saying white people fight each other, that's I'm not a cat, so I don't give a fuck about cats fighting. I'm black. And the people that beat up black women are usually either other black women or black males. Why are you invoking them into a black conversation where I'm trying to get black women to go somewhere else? What other folk got to do with it?
The thing that I was saying was you shouldn't 86 black people or black men out of your life.
Absolutely. Absolutely. You should do that. If somebody, so just say the real sentence. You should not 86 your number one predator out of your life. That's really what you're saying.
Well, the black man isn't my predator.
Yes, he is.
I don't walk around fearing the black man.
Yes, he is.
Did you just say you was molested by a black man?
I was.
Oh, wow. So he's not your predator.
So he's not your predator.
No power over me at all.
The indoctrination is
Girl, he had power over you the moment he violated you, sweetheart.
That was
Don't you understand that today?
No, I'm not that. I'm no longer my scars. It took years of therapy for that. So no, I'm not that.
You still need a little bit of
you
therapy.
Still in pain, honey.
You have to.
That's your opinion.
After therapy, you should be brave enough to turn.
I'm listening to the inflection of your voice. You're still in pain, baby.
She is. She is. And the thing is, you should know that after therapy, it makes you brave enough to walk away from those things that hurt you or have the potential to hurt you. Am I correct in saying?
That's right. Yes.
No. What? So divest from a flight of stairs?
No, but that's not logical neither. You're putting yeah, that's true. You're not giving logical examples with that.
No, I'm not saying what the fuck you don't want to hear. That's what it is.
No, that's not a logical statement.
And the fact of the matter is, you still hung up on black men, and that's your problem. Folks over here are not into black men, and there's absolutely nothing you can do about it. Just like I can't make you not be done with black men. You see how that works? How about that part?
Yeah, that's true too. That's true too.
DZ, can I please offer a suggestion to Regina? Is that your name, Regina?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Here's something for you to consider. I'm a black woman, right? Mm-hmm. Did it ever occur to you that because I have chosen to invest in myself, I can still keep my black pride intact without having to lay down on the sword for men who more times than not will put me in a position of being a victim? Because I know that you must have heard a therapist say that to you too. You must have heard a therapist say you have to learn how to love yourself because by you,
it's not your fault.
Yeah, first they told you it's not your fault, but then they also told you that if you keep repeating the same behaviors over and over again,
I wasn't repeating any behavior. I was molested. I was a child.
No, what I am saying is, by you continuing to keep yourself in the presence of men who have a predestination of that kind of behavior, you run the risk.
Destination for
they're predisposed. See that part? This is what I'm talking about. You're trying to be like you're picking apart. You know she meant predisposed, so you're not gonna talk about niggas. You're gonna talk about the fact that she misspoke, honey.
What?
She meant predisposed.
A predisposition. And the reason why I say there's a predisposition is because it has been statistically proven 1 in 4 black girls will get molested. Are you trying to imply that all of those little black girls got molested by white men? Or did they possibly, or did they most likely get molested by men?
I never said that out of my mouth.
I'm asking you a question. You need to let me finish, okay? I'm asking you a question. And when I didn't say that you said that. That's why I said imply.
And I
by what you are stating, you need to just answer the question. I know it might trigger you, but by what you are proposing here,
it must trigger you because when I'm trying to correct you, you keep trying to tell me about myself.
I've never been molested, so I have nothing to be triggered over. What I'm asking you is, by your argument here, are you aware that you might be implying that that 25% of black girls who have been molested have all been molested by white people? Because you're, for some reason, wanting to bring in other communities when we are just specifically talking about the plight of what's happening to Black women. So when you bring up other communities and other communities that don't have access to these Black girls, why are they being brought into the situation? Because we're talking about what's happening to Black girls over here. Okay, what happens in white communities, white women need to worry about that. But when we're talking about the Black girls and all they see is Black people because of their Black loyal mothers who only have Black men, who only want Black men in
That's
their
right.
lives, only want their children to look Black.
That's right.
That's going to increase the risk of these young Black
all
girls
Black
getting molested by someone who looks like them but just happens to have a penis. Are you understand where I'm coming from?
I understand everything that you said, and no, I never implied any of that. What I said was,
but you did, unfortunately.
They keep going on. There was something that I saw. Let's see.
This is why this is confusing. No, I'm telling you, I'm fucking confused by the fact that you're taking up for people that have horrible statistics. It's confusing to me why you would be taking up for someone and something that are abusing the fuck out of Black girls. The shit is disrespectful as fuck. You're talking to what? No, I'm saying you're being disrespectful. Because if I saw your abuser and I gave him the benefit of the doubt, I'm being disrespectful as fuck to you because that motherfucker abused you.
Why would
and I have no abuser? That's what you're doing. That's what you're doing.
So these ladies believe that if Black women are loving Black men, but however they're abusing us by saying these stats, that we're in essence loving our abusers. You see, like the thought process, like they really had to sit amongst each other and really think, how can we try to make Black women not love Black men? Because clearly these Black men don't love me. So it's just so odd. And it's scary that there's people walking around that look like me that think like this. It's people that have a problem with Black folks wanting to love Black folks. I've just never I don't think I'll ever understand. Let me see. She say anything else before I cut her off.
Yes, that is what you're saying. By default, that is what you're saying.
You're
Regina,
misunderstanding what I'm saying.
Regina, you need to understand what you are proposing right now is a false equivalency.
You are trying to answer because you keep asking me not to talk over you, but you keep interrupting me.
But you're not saying anything.
I am, but you're not letting me finish.
Okay. Hold on a second. I think you get me and the person that's talking to you confused because I didn't interrupt your ass. I told you that you were taking up for these women's abusers, basically saying give them a chance, and that's what you're doing. They shouldn't abandon. Oh my God, girl, where is that Sparta flip flop? You did say that shit.
I never said to give an abuser a chance.
Well, most Black men are abusers.
That's period. Okay, most Black men. Let's say that most Black men are abusers.
That'd be a good thing to say because that's true.
They're all abusers. Yes, what I said was when I came on was that it's just not Black men.
So fucking
that's the question as well.
Are you going to 86 white men because you could probably do statistics in a white?
No, I'm going to fuck a white man tonight. I'm going to fuck the shit out of a white man tonight. I'm going to fuck his ass so goddamn good his toes gonna curl the fuck up to the point where the blood is gonna leave the tip. That's what I'm going to do because I'm not in my house getting abused like the majority of these bitches that's what these niggas is getting. That's what I'm going to do. You act, so I fucking told you. You denying stats up here. You are denying
anything.
You are. I asked you. That's it. Okay, see, that's the thing. With your opinion, that's not going to stop anybody from getting fucked up because the stats are real. What is somebody that got molested going to do with your goddamn opinion? What they going to do with it?
What you mean what they going to do with it?
I'll tell you what they do with it.
This is Sparta!
So
I can't do it.
The fact is, she's talking about so.
I'm just gonna stop it. So they do the Sparta thing, I guess, to end the call. Interesting enough, The woman that didn't hate her black men because she didn't hate herself was cool, calm, and collected. Funny how when you love yourself and you love your people, how cool you are with it. But the bras that can't stand black men and think they are this and that and abusers, angry, cussing, belligerent, wild. Girl, don't no man want that, first of all. And you are going home to a toy. I doubt no white man want that mouth. Or maybe he do want that mouth for $40. You sound like it's worth about 15, but people have a problem with the Tina Knowles docuseries. And these are, again, the videos that was made because Tina Knowles said she wanted to have a love letter for black men. Like, do you know how powerful that is? I'm going to take a couple calls. I'm not going to do my panel thing that I usually do because I know I've talked for almost 2 hours. I'm going to put it in for anyone that wants to call up real quick, just real quick. I know, like I said, I feel a certain type of way. So I told you I let my daughter watch the docuseries. It's 4 parts. It's only been 2, and then we're going to watch the rest of the 2 when it comes out. And my daughter watched it, and we always have conversations. You know, I have a lot of conversations with my daughter because I don't want her to be oblivious. And I want these hard conversations to come from me and her dad and not school or her friends. I want her to already know and be put on game. So when she watched it, she looked at me. So she looked at me and she said, with the first one, the threatening, and she said, Mom, so are people going to look at my dad as being a threat and scared of my daddy because he's black? And I told her yes. I said, they are going to look at your dad. Some people, not all, but some might. I also told her that, you know, even some of the people that might look at your dad as a threat, they gonna look like us. If you're going to call up, you can, I see you. So again, I'm going to take a couple calls. First, before I do, I'm going to read some of the super chats. I know, and I thank you guys so much. And I tried to look to save some of them. So I'm going to bring some up because I appreciate you guys watching this. I lost valuable brain cells. Shay, me too. Okay. TJ, grow them. Grow them. Yes. Talk to Core. What's up, Derek, my guy? Hi, darling. You're preaching right now, but God, I love Snowfall. Hey, I listen to hip hop, but I don't let my daughter listen to it, but it ain't me. Me playing Little Kim doesn't mean that I'm out here thinking I'm hardcore. So I get it. And it's stuff that we have to unlearn. I get it. But we have to first understand that this is where the stuff comes from. And the indoctrination was purposeful. Eugene, these genetically modified females have tried to cancel Kevin Samuels. It didn't work. They tried to cancel Cater to You. You are absolutely right. They sure did. They wanted to cancel Cater to You. Beyonce and them ain't getting no love in these divestment streets. Didn't work. Now they trying to cancel Miss Knowles. It will not work. Oh no, they ain't gonna cancel Mama Knowles now. Eugene, obviously the sisterhood are letting the ugly voices be heard. I think I know what content creators those hyenas were watching. Shout out Healing Force. I appreciate you. Meanwhile, Thomas Jefferson, openly slept with a slave. Yes, he did. And had a whole other family living in the backyard. Imagine how his white wife felt. He felt like trash. And to know that he was really in love with a black woman. Ooh. Gossip and lies still on YouTube like hotcakes. Let's support positive content backed by facts. Kimio, I completely agree. And the thing is that we don't. Controversy sells. This hatred to black people sells amongst black people. We're so used to black power and being, pro-black. Now, when I tell people in this space that I am B1, I'm looked up like, oh, you're so modern. You like being black? Ew. These are black people telling me this. Peace Courtney, the reason why she said womb man, because in scriptures, man is male and female, and the woman is equivalent to the universe because life comes out of the womb. Everything else I agree with. Sean, well, that's I we'll have another discussion about that. But again, I'm a woman. And my womb brings life, but that life wouldn't be if it wasn't for a man. So it takes both of us. Oh, great. Oh, Papa JR. Thank you, La Peef Network. Just showing love. Thank you guys so much. I wanted to take the time out to thank you guys. I really appreciate the love. These black women sound miserable. Yes, they do. Unhappy, angry, masculine, lack self-love. So sad. And many of us need to seek counseling along with Jesus. Jesus is the answer. Appreciate what you do, Miss Courtney. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. Thank you guys for the super chats. It really means a lot. I'm going to pull up Eugene, my darling.
Hello, how you doing?
Hey, you sound good.
Yeah, what happened was I started going in and out and in again.
Yeah.
So, because every time I do it the first time, it would sound like Alvin,
Yeah, well, you sound awesome. There was another one. Courtney, you're doing a great job in spaces. Keep on cooking, showing love. I appreciate it. So what you got for me, Eugene? And I'll bring up J Mike as well, too.
Well, ever since I was little, I always knew about, the bad stereotyping of black people in general, but it's all by white people. And then, last few years, ever since I started listening to content creators, I'm finding out that now that same stereotyping is coming from certain black women. And at first I was like, what? And, and another content creator, pointed that out so far. And I'm like, I mean, they show videos of these women. And I'm like, oh, wow. This whole gender rep, is very real. It's gotten ridiculous,
right.
to be quite frankly. But here's how what I would say, to black men. Look, black men, you know what you are deep down inside. Okay? Just stay on your purpose. Don't worry about what others think of you because they are ignorant. Okay? As far as those women go, hey, they're not the only black women on this earth or in this country for that matter.
Right.
Okay? You don't have to go to them, because there are good black women out there who would be able to, take you on. Don't worry about those women.
Yeah.
That's all I got.
I totally agree. And thank you, Eugene. And I know that you, like me, listen to a lot of content creators. And I know you hear a lot of stuff and you're able to, take the good in and the bad, leave it where lies, and me too. But I can admit, like, sometimes it gets to me because I get tired of just hearing the negative about us. When I don't see that in real life, I see a lot of well-to-do, good families married. Like I said, my brothers are all married. I'm not yet, but I'm hopeful. And it's not even for me. I'm just hopeful for us.
Yeah,
So, and I want to hear some more success stories because I think we need it at this time.
Oh yes, yes we do, and it's gonna happen, Courtney. Believe me, it will happen.
All right, I'm gonna drop you down. I'm gonna go ahead and get better you life coaching, and then I'm gonna head out. Thank you, Eugene.
Right.
You know I love you, darling.
Thank you. Thank
All
you so
right,
much.
bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
What you got? Better you.
Hey, Miss Courtney.
Hi.
First off, I want to say thank you. I like your platform because some of the topics you cover I don't always like, but I think it's really important to have the conversation.
Mm-hmm.
And when it comes to divesting, I had never heard of this until like your first show like a couple months ago on it.
Mm-hmm.
And honestly, I had no idea that a lot of Black women felt this way. But after hearing some of the thoughts and ideas for some of the most prominent content creators, it doesn't seem like a well thought out movement. Honestly, it seems like Black people perpetuating white supremacy.
I totally agree. I think I said that. It's white supremacy. Who was I listening to last night? I was listening to Black Man Unfiltered, one of my favorites. He'd be up late night, 2:00 in the morning, just be chit chatting, and we just call in, just having a good old time. And I don't know if I've had Police Officer Nathan on here before, and he said something amazing. He was like, during the Bible days, when they was trying to create the Tower of Babel.
Mm-hmm.
And he said, what did Jesus do to make sure that that wasn't going to happen? Or what did God do? And he mixed up their language. He divided them. So that's where we get the word Babel. Your kids babbling. You can't understand. So he understood, and God understands, and what people understand is that in order to break up something that could be powerful, you have to divide it. White supremacy has always wanted our families divided. And what we're doing on these platforms, when we're talking negatively day in, day out, saying all we want to do, I'm sorry for you guys that represent this. I don't. The pump and dumps, I don't. But when we keep perpetuating that, and then we can keep perpetuating the Cynthia G's of the termination of Black boys in the belly, it's dividing us. We're not going to be great, and we're going to lose ourselves as a culture.
Oh, definitely. And one thing I think we all kind of have to keep in mind is, granted, some of these folks do have some big followings, but for the most part, like, there's a difference between what's going on in real life and what's happening in these YouTube streets. And I think we all need to keep that in perspective, but also kind of, be mindful that there are some people out here with these types of ideologies. And when it comes to us as a culture, as Black men and women, I mean, I know this is only anecdotal. I know probably at least 200, 300 Black folks, Black brothers. We all love Black women. And I don't see any of this hateful things in
real
people
life
seeking to perpetuate harm against Black women. And granted, that's only my bubble and what I see, but I would wager that that's the majority of Black men as a whole. And the notion that one part of a racist sex can divorce itself from another is foolishness to me. It's like, how can Black women continue without Black men? How can Black men continue without Black women?
We can't continue. It's not going to be no Blackness.
Exactly.
We perish without each other. And that's not what we're not talking about that. We perish without each other. We need each other.
Definitely.
Yeah. So, well, all right. Well, I appreciate you coming up, and thank you. And I know some of my topics but so I just want to change some of the conversation at times as well too.
Oh, definitely. And keep doing what you're doing. I mean, it's very important to talk about things that people agree with and don't disagree with.
Yeah.
Whether folks agree or disagree, to have those viewpoints and have them discussed and put out there, I feel that there's real value in that. Because otherwise you become an echo chamber. And if everybody's all saying the same thing, what's the point?
And I definitely don't want that. So,
yeah. So have a good one.
Well, thank you. You too. Thank you.
Okay.
Let's remove him from the stream. J Mike, are you ready? I'm gonna pop you up. Is you ready? Go once. Let me do my. I've been doing Dracula all night. Let me do this. One. A two. Well, I tried, boo. Salam Ali. I can't hear you. You on mute. I still can't hear you, darling. I can't hear you. Now it says, make sure I didn't mute you. I didn't mute you. You want to come back out and call in again? You got a 404. Try to call in again, okay? I'm going to remove you. All right. Well, I don't know why you're having problems. I'm kicking you out, J Mike, and try again. So I'll try to wait on them. If anybody, and I see somebody named Dusty. Dusty be gone. Well, if you want to come up, if you want to talk to me, I don't mind. I'm going to put the link in here, and I'll give it a couple more minutes, a minute or two. And then after that, I'm going to head off because I didn't want to have really a long stream. I know I talked a lot. It was a lot that I really wanted to say, really want to say more, but I'm trying to keep it respectful. Because if we was home, if y'all was in my living room, I'd be joking on these niggas. All right, we'll try Salam Ali again. Oh, you're new. I've never seen you before, so I would love to hear your take. I'm sorry. I don't know. I don't think it's me because y'all can hear me, but I can't hear Salam Ali. I'm gonna try one more. Black skin is amazing.
Yeah, how you
doing?
doing?
How are you?
I'm doing great.
Good. What you got for me?
Well, I just heard you talk about blacks. Are you ADOS FBA or no? Are you like Black
I'm
American?
ADOS.
Yeah, okay. Yeah. I think we're doing great under the conditions of we just came out of slavery, and when you add up slavery, Jim Crow, 350 years, crack heroin epidemic, I think we're doing great. Of course, we got a ways to go, but we're doing great. I don't have any like Cynthia G's. Like she says she's not divested. She says she will continue to ride Black D.
She did say that.
Yeah, she says all the time.
She
She's
did
like,
say
I'm not divesting from Black D. Like she's crazy. But you got to remember, I did a video about her on my channel. She comes from a lot of trauma. Her father, she's got like several siblings, right, brothers and sisters, and as a small baby, her father was a prize fighter, right? They thought he was going to be like the next Mike Tyson, and he fell to crack addiction. And so they went from, Cynthia G says it herself. This is what she says. She goes, my father was a prize fighter in Las Vegas, and he went from that to a drug addict to the point that he left the family. And Cynthia G and her siblings and mom were living in a car. She didn't go to school until she was 10 years old. So you got to remember, Cynthia G comes from a lot of trauma. When you see your dad's cracked out to the point he's gone, and you're living in a car in Seattle and don't go to public school until your 10th grade because you're homeless, that's Cynthia G. So once you learn her background, then you can have some compassion for her and say, well, that's why she's talking about abort Black babies. I'm sorry, go ahead.
Yeah. Well, try to do some of the A word. They don't YouTube don't like that for the algorithm. But here's the thing. We have to take responsibility. Everybody's had something traumatic happen in their childhood.
Yeah,
and
but
not to take away anything, but if you're spilling I talked about this. The number one killer really of Black women is ourselves with heart disease. But the number one killer of our community and the most dangerous place for a Black person to be is in our womb.
abortion, yeah, 20 million Black babies
So
aborted.
I
Yeah.
cannot and I would never support anything that has to do with the termination of my people because I want us to grow. I want us to be better. And we can't grow if we're not here.
Yeah.
My daughter can't have a husband if we're eliminating them.
Yeah.
You want my daughter to be a strong Black woman by herself?
Yeah.
No. And my preference would be for my daughter to have a Black man. If she don't, that's on her choice. I want her to be loved regardless.
I agree.
So I can't go, her background, I get it. We all have it. But as a grown woman with children, and I believe multiple kids, it's not the rhetoric I think that we need to hear as a community over the internet streams that people are agreeing with. You don't know who's going to hear that an 18-year-old girl hear it. Oh, it's a boy. Gone.
Yeah. I understand what you're saying. But to have some compassion upon Cynthia G. My thing is, I look at when I do videos about her, I have compassion, about her, but I destroy her ideals about, of course, aborting Black babies is foolish, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of like you have compassion for the person while tearing apart their ideology. So So
in my show, I don't disrespect anyone. So
because that does nothing to drag. Like Cynthia G, she's gone a couple weeks ago. She said her anxiety is so bad she can't go to a mall with people around. And she said that the afro, she said last month in a live stream that the afro is masculine, and that's why she won't show her hair, because she goes, Black men don't like afro's natural hair and it's masculine. And Nala was on that same screen, said, yeah, I wear a wig too because 4C hair is masculine. So they both said on the screen, on this the live stream, that 4C hair is masculine. How crazy is that? And that's why they both say they wear wigs. Because they said it's masculine. How crazy is the thinking of Cynthia G? And Nala says to say 4C hair that grows out of your scalp is masculine, not feminine. Therefore, they will wear wigs. This is them. So just back to what I said, you got to have compassion for these people. These people are lost. And I understand what you're saying. The people follow them, right? The young girls. Now, those are the ones who are will be effed up. Cynthia G, Nala says they're already effed up enough. But yeah, how do you protect the young ones? Well, the young ones are going to have parents to guide them, and once they're 18, they're going to have to decipher this stuff for themselves. But I did a video about it. Who wants to turn out like Cynthia G? She's 37, never had a husband. As far as we know, we don't have kids. She's never been married. She has severe anxiety. She's in therapy right now for social issues, daddy issues. She's says she has deep anxiety issues. So her life is wrecked. And so once you look at the results, then you understand that her ideology is so effed up, because look at her life. And like I said, I get it.
Yeah. And again, this wasn't necessarily about Cynthia G at all.
No,
I
I'm
didn't
talking
see her
about
do anything. So, but I get it. And I think we need to be compassionate about a lot. And you're right, a lot of people are lost. And I'm always for debating the topic and the ideology and not the person.
And to end, we're like I said, 400 years of slavery, Jim Crow, crack heroin epidemic. I think we're doing great. Most people, like my mother should tell me, son, any other group wouldn't even have survived slavery and Jim Crow, let alone the crack heroin epidemic. All done by white supremacy. So just by us as a people, 45 million strong, being here, that said something. I have a lot of pride being ADOS. Like, man, we went through something that no other people group have gone through in human history ever. No group has gone through 250 years of slavery, 100 years of Jim Crow, and then tap on 20, 30 years of a crack heroin epidemic, and we still here. We're the center of world culture. We're the face of entertainment. We got 8-9 billionaires that are ADOS. Wow. I mean, I have a lot to be impressed by our people.
Well, I appreciate you and
And
thank you.
I appreciate you. You're a beautiful woman, and I'll
Thank
get off your
you.
chat. Yeah, I just found you. I was going through something. I was like, oh, who's this girl talking about? So yeah, so
Oh.
I'm not downgraded about ADOS. I'm very happy. I'm looking forward to
Mhm.
the future. Of course we got problems. Of course we got things to chase after and be. Of course, I'm just saying that at this moment right now, we ADOS,
Mhm.
we have a higher living standard in America than any group in Africa or the Caribbean. And that's
Mhm.
as is today. You take
Right.
Nigeria, Ghana, uh, Jamaica, Haiti, we ADOS in America, 40, 45 million strong. We have a higher living standard than any nation in all of Africa and all the Caribbean. And I heard this one scholar said, not only that, he goes, we Black Americans ADOS FBA right now. He goes, right now, 2022, we have a higher living standard than the vast majority of white Europeans in Europe, the vast majority of Russians, the vast majority of Asians. He goes, you name the country, and we
Mhm.
have a higher living standard than the vast majority of people on earth. And I think that's something to be proud of, because
Mhm.
we're always hearing all this negativity. Yeah, I get it. But let's talk about some positivity, that we
Yeah.
have a higher living standard than most white people on earth. I mean, and let me end it right now. How come you don't hear white people talking about the Appalachian Mountains with white people with no teeth all the time? Hey, what about those, the Appalachians, right? They don't talk about the poorest state in America is West Virginia,
Mhm.
94% white. But we're always focused on the Pookies and Rayways. What about the greatness of us? Let's have an
I
even
agree.
conversation, right?
And I think that, and if that's what your platform doing is, drop it in the black chat, and I'll definitely will post you. But if that's what you're doing on your page,
Of
I
course.
thank you, because that's what I'm trying to do on mine, to show a little
Mm.
bit of more positivity when it comes to our people. So
Yeah, and you a
let
whole
me
lot
get some
prettier
more.
too. You a cutie, so your message will go a lot further than mine. I'm ugly. You pretty,
Oh,
so you gonna make it do what it do. All right,
oh
I'm
well,
out. Peace.
thank you. Bye. Oh, here's a ball of energy. Thank you, because I was feeling kind of way. That put a little pep in my step. So, Salam Ali. I'll remove you until you get back on the screen, my doll. Um, Miss TJ Randolph.
Hey, can you hear me?
I can.
Listen, I don't know how good my connection is going to be because, we got bad weather here, but, I had to get
Yeah.
in on this because these people are out of control.
Mm-hmm.
Listen, and if they hear me, I don't give a damn, but y'all about some bitter females. That's all I got to say on that. Yeah, who hurt you? That's the realness right there. Who hurt
Somebody heard
you?
right. They so quick to tell a man, who your mama black. What? Well, madams, your daddy black. It was
And
the daddy.
it's just terrible because again, y'all know that I have had my situations and I was in a domestic violence relationship or
Mm-hmm.
whatever, but that was one man. One
Right.
man. Are you out of your damn mind?
Mm-hmm.
So I'm just gonna put everybody in a box because of my experiences. And like I said yesterday, y'all women who are on the precipice of being bitter like that, get your life together. And the reason why I
Right.
say that, because I was on the precipice.
Right.
And I had to do some serious work because I was walking around mad, scowling, bitter. And that takes a toll on you physically as well
It
as
does.
emotionally.
It does. And that's what's killing us.
And these
These hard
females
to
on
do,
the
this is
last
stress.
call you just did, they were just as rude as all get out. And I bet now not nan one got a man. Not nan one.
Well, I don't, a hot mess. And and I'm glad that you called, because I want to shut out angry man. When topics and when things come like this, you're hard pressed first to see a man such as angry man like cover this.
Right.
And I didn't want to see it, because I know first it'd make me angry. And then I'd be up here a real angry woman. And then, I wanted to give my take, and I didn't want it to be influenced by anyone else. But I was
Right.
so grateful that he decided to do a stream. He had an awesome viewing and over this, and just kind of dissecting it on that end. And what I want is the women in this space to talk more about things like this instead of always talking about how the Black woman ain't no good. Like, okay, we get it. Okay, great. But this is the stuff that we need to be covering. This is the stuff that we don't talk about as women in this space, is going against these divestors and arguing their ideology. And when they say we need 86 Black men, well, this is the reason why. Like, come talk to someone that's not in your echo chamber. And that's what I honestly want to see more of, is us women taking more responsibility.
Real quick, Courtney,
okay, so
can you
I
hear
see
me, Courtney?
someone I see you. Dust Be Gone is a troll. Let me
bring that ass on up. bring that ass on up. We got time today. Your auntie gonna grow you real in a real way.
Well, you know, he's not gonna call. It's just a troll. Say my name, go ahead. Okay, Dusty Be Gone. I'll give you a minute. If not, honey, you're gonna get good and blocked, because what we're not gonna do is just that. And don't let it's a troll. Nan none picture. Your avatar is, well, it does look dusty. So I'll wait. Do 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 dust be gone. Do 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 do. You see what I'm saying? So troll away. So let me just go on. I tried. TJ, I bring you back up.
Okay.
I'll do it again. Do 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 do. Come on up. Bring your ass. Dust be gone. Right. So again, they're not gonna come up. And thing is, I'm nice and you're sweet. And
I am sweet and I'm nice, but you know I'm and I'm
You're
all about growing people in love. But you know, we have to really be honest with ourselves. And again, like, and it's shout out to Angry Man, because I said it first yesterday on my drive up.
Say it. What'd you say?
I said, okay, if we say that it is true that the number of Black men who have abused and or taken the lives of Black women in 2021, if we say that is true, does that mean that we're saying that the stereotypes and the profiling is not true? No, both can be true at the same time.
Right.
Because I don't have sons, but I have nephews. My friends have sons. I'll just give you a perfect example. I have a son-in-law. And this what makes me mad about these females, because you telling me you don't have any men in your life that you're not concerned about being profiled and stereotypes. Because a couple of years ago, I had my dog that I got out. And my son-in-law, who y'all seen him, he's tall and dark and big. He was chasing after my dog, trying to get him, and he was going in between houses, running after him. He said it jokingly, but he said, "You got me running in between."
TJ, I don't hear you no more. Well, that storm, baby, done got your Wi-Fi. Okay. Well, she'll pop back up. She's very persistent. What I tell
I'm gonna say this. And I'm gone, because the weather got the power. But he said, "You got me running in between these houses, and these people could come out and shoot me when they see a big Black man running in between their houses." You tell me that shit? That's some real shit.
Right.
That's some real shit. So I'm gonna go ahead and go before I fall out again. But good show. Keep on doing what you're doing and grow these people real.
Thank you. We doing it together, honey bunny.
Okay. Bye.
Bye. All right, Lion, I got you up. You want to unmute?
Yes.
Lion Selassie, how are you?
Oh, how you doing?
Good. What you got for me?
I think there's stuff that's going on. To me, I think a lot of it, what do you call it? A lot of these people need to heal. Also, I think too, it's also I guess some conspiracy. My opinion is a lot of agent um out here trying to create this narrative. Saying so this stereotype of black men and all this stuff has been in America for so many years and stuff like
Mm-hmm.
that. To me, it's just another form of white supremacy. Even with the whole ADOS, FBA, and all this, foreign this thing, all this stuff. All it is just divide and counter tactics. And I think
Yeah.
that, and yeah, because even like trying to paint a negative view of Africa, black people in America, and it's just like a global thing. So it's and all these people are doing just feeding into that narrative. And my thing is to me, I love black people worldwide. So
Mm-hmm.
and I think that yeah, and I think that and it's a lot of ignorancy and people they don't go do the statistics or the studies, and people just be talking from this pure emotion and don't really even because a lot of this stuff they don't even have the facts right. So it's like a lot of it just it's ignorance. So and I'm thinking that yeah, I mean because a lot of these the numbers don't add up what they're saying. Like there's all
The
these
math
evil
ain't
black
the
dudes.
math ain't mathing with you. I got you.
Yeah, it's like all these black people, dudes just going around just killing and just murdering. And I mean that's ridiculous. I mean it's actually more, a lot of most people who have violence and stuff. This stuff is domestic violence is not just it's a global phenomenon. So it's just like most people who going to have these problems or going to be in close proximity to each other, right? So white,
Yeah.
so that's who people are usually around. So and even with the conflicts between that happen in domestic is usually bi-directional. It's usually it's not just like dudes just a lot of guys just start going killing doing all this type of stuff. So it's usually what do you call it? It's sometimes the woman is the aggressive, then it's sometimes that the dude shouldn't hit the woman back or nothing like that. Shouldn't be doing all that type of stuff. But it's not always this one sided stuff. So and I think that and some of these women probably who's saying this stuff maybe they got abused or something like that, or some emotional drama or some type of stuff they have with one person in their family. Then then they start projecting on all type of dudes and stuff they don't have nothing to do with. So I think that's what's going on.
Yeah. Well, I hear you. And I appreciate you. So thank you for calling
Okay.
up. All right. Have a good evening.
Yeah, have a blessed night.
You too. All right. J Mike, I'm gonna try you one more time, brother man. If not, I'll see you next week. J Mike, are you there?
Can you hear me now?
Hey, I can
Yeah,
hear
I'm
you
here,
now.
but you can hear me. Okay, good. Okay, what I was
What's
about to
going
say
on?
is, it's a lot of this divestments. A lot of the divestment women are in their feelings, and that's understandable if it's something that happened to them. But the crazy part is, people are not checking the black manosphere most of the times, unfortunately, because the black manosphere, like the Kevin Samuels guys and all those men, they are putting the false narrative out on black women, and other black men might be going along with their rhetoric too. So I call everyone out.
I understand. So what negative or false narrative that you're hearing in the manosphere?
Oh, it's a lot of this stuff is about the Fresh and Fit show with Tommy Sotomayor on there
Okay.
recently.
You know they're not manosphere now. So they're not in the Fresh and Fit is not in the black manosphere. Tommy Sotomayor he said that very clearly on his show. He's not part of the manosphere. Now there's a lot of content creators that are pushing negative stereotypes of black women, Fresh and Fit. I agree with you for sure they are. But hell, they say they don't even like us. So why
Yes,
black
they
women
have.
Right. That's what I said. They said they don't like us. So I don't understand why Black women continue to go on their show to be disrespected. That I don't understand. So
And then the
I agree
sad
with you
thing
on
about,
that.
but the sad
Mhm.
part is the same people who talk about the crazy part is the preferences and the non-Black women on the show. They don't even defend the Black women when the Black men or the other preferences are in the wrong.
Yeah. So yeah, I understand. I've been very critical of Fresh and Fit. So like I said, they can get the smoke, and as well, these ladies over here on this side can too. So I try to be balanced with it both. I think both rhetoric that continuously pushes negative narratives of Black people need to be checked.
And then
Criticism. Well, let me say this, because I believe that criticism is fine. It's a way for us to be better. However, criticism should come with some respect, or I would say out of love, but we know that's not going to happen. But when you do it every single day and every single show is of a woman twerking or a woman spitting or hitting and then saying this is Black women and it's not, then that becomes a problem for me.
And then the crazy part is somebody in the chat says that besters are the worst. They're just as bad as the manosphere. And Cynthia G always talk about abort Black men. Doesn't she realize that aborting there's no benefit? There's no benefit to that. The only benefit is white supremacy, and of course, white supremacy would love for us to be terminated anyway.
Right.
So they can run over. And then America wasn't even their country to begin with. It was the natives. They stole America from the natives.
Yeah. So I hear you. I think we agree on a lot of these things. So I totally agree with you, J. Mike.
Okay.
Yeah. All right. I'm gonna let you go because I'm about to end it all, baby. Mama over here tired.
Thanks for having me this weekend. Earlier, I'm glad I could get my mic and all that under control, because earlier it was acting up. As soon as I
heard it. Well, I'm glad you did too. I appreciate your input, and thank you for trying and coming up. I appreciate you.
All right.
All right. Bye-bye. So this is the documentary. I hope that we all can support this. It is on Discovery Plus. I did not have it. I did subscribe. It's $4.99 if you don't have it. It is a free trial, so I'm throwing that out there as well. But I saw the part 1 and the part 2, and I'm waiting for the part 3 and the part 4. And what it is dispelling the myths of the Black man. The first one was about the myth of the Black man being threatening. And then the second part was dispelling the myth of Black fathers not being there. I think both that I saw was excellent. If you have kids, I would, especially if you have Black boys, for them to watch it. Like I said, my daughter, I told her to watch it because this affects her. She has a Black daddy that she adores. She has Black uncles that she adores. She has Black cousins that she adores. So it's called Profile the Black Man, and it is on Discovery Plus. And I want to thank everyone for coming as well. I know I did a lot of talking this time, and I didn't take too many calls, but this was important to me. And I say this all the time, and I've never strayed. You can call me everything in the book, but consistent. That I definitely am. And as much as I love my black women, I love my black men as much. And someone talk shit about y'all, I'm here. Knock if you buck, baby. There was a guy on there. I can't remember his name, but he had these amazing pictures. They were talking about black men being professional. And he has a thing, it's called Black Menswear. And they do a flash mob in different cities to show black men in suits. And it is the most amazing thing that I have seen. I went to his YouTube page. I went to his Facebook and his IG, and the images was amazing. And it's powerful to me. And these are the images of black men that I know. They're not in the hood. They're dressed. They're loving fathers. They have amazing jobs. These are the black men that I know. And this is what I want to see more representation of. And this is what I want little black boys to see. See themselves, how confident these boys are, standing up tall. How beautiful are these black boys? We deserve to give our black children the absolute world. And that is also giving them something to see of themselves that they can admire. So, again, I thank you guys for tuning in. If you haven't already, like, subscribe to the channel, share if you like. But I thank you. And like I said, forever, it's always be one. So come back, tune in next week, 6:30 Central Standard Time, Wednesdays, all day, baby. Miss name. I gotta remember. Yes, I missed his name. Want to check him out. Hold on, before I go, I'll pull it up for you guys. I don't know his name. It's on the documentary. Oh, sidebar. Did y'all know? Also in the documentary. No, now I'm just talking. There is a company. I'm gonna pull it up since y'all still here. I did not know this, and this is in Chicago. So if you are in Chicago and you didn't not telling people this, shame on you. But there is a black-owned bread company in Chicago. It is the only bread company that is owned by black folks. And I'm going to show you this. And it's 3 black men. I wonder if they have their pictures on here. Let me share. So, and I learned this too. And this is their brand, and they're owned by 3 black men. There they go. How handsome are they? 3 black married men. And they created the Black Bread Co. They're based in Chicago. I think they have, they serve in 87 stores and restaurants for their bread. So you guys, especially in Chicagoland, for sure, check them out. How dope is this? We have our own bread company. I love it. That documentary was dope. And let me see if I can find the guy for you. And before I go, I'm just rambling now. It was Black Menswear. Was it? Oh, Lord, y'all have Black Menswear. It was. Let's see if they have a website. And then I'll share. Hey, okay. That's so sweet. Let's see where they got photos. Okay, I'll share. So this is how handsome. So we're changing the narrative of Black men. And they were featured on, as seen on ABC, CBS, Discovery, of course. They were on the docuseries, but they were in Dallas, Philly, DC, LA. Y'all just come on to Nashville now. But yeah, and so they do a flash mob. I don't know if I can pull up some pictures, maybe. Yeah, a tour. But there they go. And this is the guy that in the middle with the glasses. This is his thing. So I think it's really cool. And they have a tour. So that's where they'll be, I guess, for the remaining of the year. Not bad. So yeah, so check it out. It's just super dope to me. And I just love seeing the beautiful faces of these Black men. How handsome. Suited and booted. That's what my mama used to say. Suited and booted. So yeah, so to end on a positive note. So oh yeah, I'm gonna look that up. But anyway, so yeah, check it out. Show it some love. And women content creators in this space. Don't let these women have the last word. They don't deserve it. So until next week, Wednesday, 6:30 Central Standard Time. I appreciate you guys. Bye. Hey, I like that.